Hello, everyone. Welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt, and my co-host Patty Peterson are here today. And we just want to do a quick little apology. We're starting a little late. We had some technical issues, but we are still here. So welcome everyone listening via Oneness Talk Radio YouTube or Oneness Talk Radio Facebook, or later via podcast. We are glad you're here. And the chat is open, so jump in and say hi if you would like, so we can know who's all out there. And also, we have the call board open today. So if you would like to call in too, I'll put up the number real quick, 517-208-1500. You can go ahead and call in. We'll be checking that as well. And today we have I think a timely topic, Ascension Symptoms. They've been going on for a very long time. But recently, especially recently, if you've been constantly saying yes to self-ascension, or you've been saying yes to upliftment, or yes to becoming more of who you came here to be, or the greatest version of you, any of those things, you are saying yes to your truth. And with that comes many, many up levels and upliftments. And we just had this crystalline moon last Friday that was a powerful activator to a yes. And so I know many were hypersensitive after that. I know there was many people triggered and bursting out, and lots of anxiety, and a lot more ascension symptoms as well. So we are going to chat about some of those today, and you may or may not be experiencing these. It's different for everyone based on how the energy meets your body, and how your body and your inner child, your ego, react in union with this energy. So it affects everyone differently and in different ways, but there's generally a set of ways that all around is affecting most people. So we're going to talk about some of those things today. So jump in, Patty, add to that.
Yes, that was a good opener, Geri. And like she mentioned, that right now, these big up level energies, these portals, these crystalline enhancements, so to speak, feel more frequent. Would you say that, Geri? More constant. The full moons are more powerful now. I know this past weekend with that moon energy, then also there were some solar storms. And so those too, I know days when I get that there's all these other energies coming in. And the more that we can understand that that to trust, that there's not something wrong with me. And I think Geri, over the years that we've known each other, no matter what her body starts going through, you can so quickly go to, well, it's an energy alignment. Whereas me, with my medical background and some of the others in the medical field, might say, well, I right away go to, wait a minute, is this diagnosis, and I go, just a minute, let's put that aside, sit with this and be with it for a minute, because sometimes you'll feel like you're going crazy, right? Or different ways that it'll hit us. And so we'll talk about more specifics.
Well, and you hit an important point, and that is how you mentioned you go to a diagnosis. So I
Yes.
know people, especially my daughter included, massive headaches. Been to every doctor out there that she can find, and there's nothing wrong with you. And so much of that is a sign that it's an energetic or ascension symptom. The ringing in the ears is a real popular one that I know when we first started the path 13 years ago happened so often. And now it's just something where I smile going, okay, thank you. I'm listening. I'm listening to a higher attunement or a higher alignment. But I know
Right.
other
At the
people are
beginning.
actively going to the
Right.
doctor saying, I've got tinnitus, right? Or something else. And it may not
Mhm.
be that.
Yes, exactly. One of my earlier ones too was the vision. So our vision, everything in our body, our body is energy, and it has to adjust with this or not, but I mean, if we want to feel better, if we choosing, as Geri mentioned, to lift into the truth of who we are, to flow and align and adjust to it. But I remember having, constant vision changing, and I'm running off to the eye doctor going, please help me here, and she too couldn't find anything different. And so my eyes were adjusting, and there's so much with that, right? As far as think of, each chakra and being able to see beyond. And so
Yeah, I'm feeling you on. I'm going through that one really big now. I mean, in variations throughout the years, but it's massive for me right now. I had literally went out and bought 3 sets of eyeglasses, all different strengths. So I was at the store just an hour before this show, picked up things, and I can't read the back of anything today. I mean, some days I can. Right, wear
yeah.
those glasses, and it can be so, um, I don't know what the word is, frustrating, but, on top of all the symptoms that can be going on when you can't read, and especially
Mm,
if you're health conscious and you wanna read those ingredients and they're so small, right? Um,
true.
I found that I wasn't able to read anything, and I coulda gotten a space where this is really, really, really so I just had to put the items in my hand and go, "Okay, what is the best one for me? How do they feel?" Because I
Ah,
still have that
there you
capability.
go. Right. And you bring a good point forward there, Geri, about let's bring on more of our other senses then, right? And really tune in and amplify those. If this one is going through its wonky time till it finds its center, its
Right.
new center, its new alignment, its new up leveled beingness. And, as we get, we're swimming in these new energies, our body can almost start to freak in a sense, thinking, there's a part of it that they go, oh, you're going to leave me.
Mhm.
The spirit's going to leave this me behind. And so a good idea is to reassure this body we're lifting together. Let's,
Right.
that I'm not leaving you, body. Every cell of the body, let's work together. Guide me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, after each lift, that is so important. More and more love. I'm finding I'm needing more baths, more oils, more soft music, more Epsom salt is really a big one. Like the body
Yeah.
really craves magnesium the more that you
Yes.
lift in frequency. So my body's wanting that magnesium in any way I can give it. And so our skin is the largest organ in our body. So it's an easy way to absorb that in magnesium
Mm-hmm.
with an Epsom salt
Mm-hmm.
bath. It,
Absolutely. I too have been really needing that much more now. And as our frequency raises, we can deplete our nourishment, our nutrition more quickly. And magnesium is one of the top ones. And B vitamins are another one. And our Bs are very good for our central nervous system. So there are times if you start feeling tingling, low energy, you might want to, muscle test yourself. Do I need extra B? A good B complex with a methylcobalamin in it, or B12 more spray, especially if you're not eating, the meats, which is a wise thing to do.
Mhm.
And so we can be depleting. And then in today's world, so many of the foods in the soils are depleted, and this body needs a lot of good minerals. And so needing, taking extra support of perhaps trace minerals, and definitely follow your intuition about soaking, Epsom salts in the magnesium. I sleep so much better when I take a bath like that before bed.
Mhm.
Which brings us to sleep, right, Jer? What does sleep do
Mhm.
during some of these ascension energies?
Yeah, could be all over the place, really, waking up several
Exactly.
times a night. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through lots and lots of night sweats with the up level energies, constantly waking up, ripping off the covers, sweating like crazy, and that's a piece of
Mm-hmm.
it. So there's
Mm-hmm.
um if you're going through a kundalini awakening, now there's an ascended kundalini that's also um something that's entered the planet. So depending on how you've
Yep.
incorporated that or how it's moving through you, that also will bring on the massive sweats and the heat and the need for more water.
Yep.
And I find that they happen often when I'm sleeping. So those might be some of the disturbances that you might be going through.
Definitely. I know for me, I can tell immediately if it's an energy that's keeping me awake because it's a different type of wakefulness than if it was something else, and you're alert the next day, not really as tired. But I have to keep reminding myself if I'm not sleeping, it's just the energies. We'll be okay the next day. And for awake in middle night, perhaps we're meant to connect more with our true self or with our guides. What is it I might be needing to pay attention to? Because during the day, perhaps I'm just a little too busy in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's a time for a little more self-love, or journaling is a good one. But very much I hear it all the time from my clients as they start on this journey, that their sleep can be all over the place. Likewise, sometimes I get hit, like this last weekend, I got hit with great fatigue, and sometimes the body just needs to lay and rest during the day to integrate. That could be
Right.
some.
Yeah, you might go either way. You might either have a lot of amped energy, or you
Mhm.
might go fatigued. I know the day of the new moon, I felt like I was being electrocuted all day, like
Yeah,
literally, like I
yeah,
had my finger in a light socket.
right. And she checks with me, and I'm saying I can hardly move.
I can hardly stay awake. So it
Yeah.
affects everyone so differently depending on,
Yes.
where you're at. And some people interact with energy differently. That's always kind of been the case with you and I, no matter what we're
Right.
doing on our journeys. Um,
Hmm.
if we're going to a
Yeah.
sacred site or something and the frequency's really high,
Hmm.
I tend to go,
Ex-
I didn't sleep for 9 days when I got home from India.
yes. I remember that. And then I spiraled down, and it
You
gave an
did.
opportunity to look at some of the old traumas that were ready to come forward. So, there's another point here, right? Like, let's not compare ourselves with somebody else.
Right.
If we're on the
Yeah.
journey, we're checking. It's good to say, okay, are you feeling something today? Maybe to reaffirm, our intuitive knowing, but not compare, that our body's not doing it the way theirs is, that there's something wrong with me. No, trust each one. The body will know, and the more we listen, then what is it what do we need to do?
Mhm.
I went into a big COVID experience last fall. I think I've mentioned, and it was like a cleaning out of all the old. And as I came out of that with whole new insights on so many areas of my life, the inner guidance was so strong about what my body needed to support this new chapter. It was heightened than it was before. So
Mhm.
many may notice that heightened connection to that intuitive connect of what the body really needs.
Mhm.
You eat something right away, maybe you're more sick and you weren't before.
Mhm.
Or
Or even more subtle, one thing I notice is my nose will run right away.
yes, yes,
If
that's a good one.
something
Yep.
is out of alignment with my frequency, that's a way I can always tell. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
like instant.
Ah,
Yeah. So
yes.
so that's a shift as well. So as some of the ascension symptoms is, there's times where I couldn't even walk down the coffee aisle because it was the energy was so strong. But now I can drink coffee and it doesn't bother me. But there's
Right.
phases that we go
Yes.
in and out where some things work, and then when you anchor in that new place, then a new
Mm-hmm.
thing will work better. But as you're going through fluctuations, you have to sometimes adjust your diet as well. And so we've found that it's kinder and easier for the body to be on a vegan diet,
Mm-hmm.
but still being able to have like sheep and goats, milk or cheese, because the goats carry a different frequency than the cows do in the United
Mm-hmm.
States,
In
anyways.
this country, yes.
Yeah, in this country. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, grains have been kind of heavy for, especially gluten seems to be a problem, and so does sugar. So those are some things that I've had to really scale back in moderation to allow my body to adapt easier to the energies
Yes.
and the frequencies.
Yes. I found very similar at different periods. And then, like Jerry says, you stabilize. And so maybe you can have a little bit, have a treat here, and then pay attention. But for
Mhm.
certain periods, it's like not at all. Get an immediate sign. This is not going to work. I'm feeling really off, right?
Mhm.
How about Geri, as we get these, up levels, um, some of the old coming up, old emotions, perhaps old traumas. What are you finding with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's a piece of it. As we continue to up level, that means the higher frequencies are coming in, so the lower frequencies get blasted out, and they get blasted out in the way of, emoting, emotion. So,
Right.
yeah, so whatever it is, and you'll know because you attract everything in your spirit experience based on your energy. So you will know by what's happening around you, what's being released.
It's a good point. Yeah, we might not have a clear picture and then just really paying attention to what's showing up. And I think for a lot of people, myself included, on my journey of awakening, just waking up to these new energies, and mine was after the sudden death of my late husband. And you're opening up to all of this new. I was voraciously reading and learning. And then that's when older traumas were able to come up and out and
Mhm,
be recognized to be healed. So I
mhm.
know, some of those greatest challenges can be our opportunities, and yet to be with them, to give them the feeling, the connection, the acknowledgement, the love. So sometimes we need a lot of extra support at that time too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. With these ascension symptoms, loving the body is so important. I've found that I often do a body love meditation, and it has helped me more ways than I can even imagine because the physical body won't even let you expand if you don't give it enough love. It will self sabotage you so that you can't receive fully the energies that you're wanting to lift. So, love to receive the energies and then love after you receive them because then the body freaks out a bit, and it's just having so much mercy for this physical form, having to hold a
Yeah.
frequency that it's not used to and that not everyone else is holding. So it can be quite a challenge. So lots of love, lots of good, healthy nourishment. Maybe even rather than just the vitamins, vitamin shots are a really good way to receive heavier doses of vitamins, especially like a vitamin B injection.
Oh,
um,
if you can get IV, I know the cities,
mhm,
I go to my daughters in Phoenix, and yeah, you can have them come to your home and get a nice IV of, a Myers cocktail to give a beautiful boost for the immune system. That's kind to the body. It really is. It's a good point, Geri. Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing mobile places around Boise popping up, mobile,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
am actually going to do that because the vitamin B is really important for our nervous system. And
Mm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you're experiencing the ascended kundalini or not, and you may not even be aware if you are or not, the central nervous system needs that vitamin B to help relax so it can receive those energies and you're not feeling
Mm-hmm.
hypersensitive. I know that's what I went through just this Sunday. And the eye thing too, walking outside and everything is so bright, like having to wear sunglasses everywhere. That is a huge one. It feels really good to walk back into like my apartment where I've got it dark now, and I usually like it light. But that's another ascension symptom as well as the sensitivity to the
Greater
light.
sensitivity.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Smells, maybe? Absolutely. Yes. Yep. You can be picking up, all the senses can be very heightened
Yeah, a
in that
feeling you're
that type.
smelling ascended smells.
Yes.
Smells that
Yes.
no one else is smelling, but it's really a high frequency smell, like it would be an essential oil. And you can smell it and it makes you uplift and feel good. Like, where's that coming from? But no one around you
Yeah.
can smell it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is exactly it. Hmm. Heightened sensitivity is a big ascension symptom. Yes. Absolutely. How about feeling, especially this last weekend, but I remember through the years too, like this instability, so to speak, or clumsy or bumping things, it's like the body's finding a new way, right? And
Right.
yeah. So, we can be dropping bump, and so it's such a reminder, slowing down, being so present. Because going through this, yeah, be careful while you're cutting your veggies and things,
Well, I think I
Cause,
shared with you this weekend when I woke up Sunday, super hypersensitive, because not only did we have the Friday new moon, but we also experienced an ensoulment where
Mhm.
the ascended kundalini was activated during this ensoulment. So there was a lot of energy that happened. And so I woke up Sunday that way, very, very, very hypersensitive to everything, crying really, really easily. And I went to switch some soup from my Instant Pot and pour it in a container. And I dumped the whole pot of soup on myself and on the kitchen
Oh,
floor.
oh no.
And luckily I'd cooled it first, so it wasn't hot.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
then I was using my my Blend Tech, which is a high speed um, blender,
Blended.
and
Yep.
didn't have the
Yep.
lid on quite tight and shot liquids all over the kitchen.
Your whole
Um,
apartment's getting
well,
baptized.
this was within a half an hour, and both of them, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm done. I just need to do something where I can't hurt myself or anyone. I maybe just need to lay on the couch and watch TV."
Yes. 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 Right. Oh, I hear you. Right. We're just not in our body the same way and getting, accustomed again, to that. And that's a perfect time too, or just being called to go lay amongst the trees or on
Yes.
the grass or the ground. Right. It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, sometime when I'm feeling like so wobbly like that, it's back against the tree. you know?
Yep.
Lit- Literally putting my blanket out underneath and feeling that stability and connecting. Um, that's
Mhm.
helped me in times.
And just laughing at yourself is to make light of it, right? Not get down
Yeah,
and not not get
yeah,
down on yourself for what you're going through. Just know that, and actually celebrate, right? It's a
that's a good point.
celebration.
Yes, yes. Woohoo! We're adjusting. We're
Yeah.
lifting.
We're lifting. You would not be going through that adjustment if you were not lifting.
Right. Yes. Yes. So hopefully, you have somebody to chat with, trust yourself, but it does help on some days like that. If I have somebody, a spiritual family call in and just say, what are you noticing? And the body also needs movement.
Mhm.
You know, yoga is always such a good, beautiful one. Tai Chi, Qigong, or walk in nature, or move more than maybe we were. I found
Mhm.
that lately for myself. I mentioned before I put in the mini tramp, and that has been so good for me to jump on that and keep adjusting.
Mhm. Yeah. Likewise,
Yeah.
I got a vibration plate, which is, in a way similar to the rebounder or but those are all things that help you move your energy very quickly in a small space. If you are in an apartment or you're, like you have snow a lot, so you don't want to go outside and go for a walk, what's a quick way I can move my energy?
Mhm.
Both of those are really good ways to move energy quickly to get the lymphatic system flowing. They also help the colon. They do a number of things
Mhm.
to assist the process.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the key, that we're wanting is to continue. Did you find that attachment, Jerry? To lift our consciousness into this higher state of, beingness from where we've been. And as each one of us does that, we're helping the whole.
Absolutely.
And so it's a gift that the more that we can integrate and align with these higher level energies to carry out in the world, and then just being that, you offer a gift to others.
Absolutely. That you become the service, right? You're of high service in that
Yes.
way by holding. And there's other benefits too, but it's not easy.
Right.
And there
Right.
are things
Exactly.
that help. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another one that I had jotted down was, well, you mentioned kind of, but that more discomfort in certain environments. heightened sense in different environments. You know, you mentioned being in the coffee aisle at one time, couldn't, and that's really true. Some places we used to be able to be in before, and now all of a sudden the energies, I can't be in that. You know, and sometimes yeah, that can be certain people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the ascension symptom too that we haven't talked about, but we talk about a lot when we're not here, when we talk to each other on the phone, is the hair loss.
Hair loss. Yes. Yes. Yes, that was a big one in the last years for some people, myself
Yeah.
included.
Yeah, as the
Yes.
crown continues to open.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, the hair, I'm down to probably a third or less of the amount of hair I had. And even for me, the texture has changed. It's like super baby, fine, frizzy fuzz that,
Yes.
I'm tempted to just chop it all off. I might. I'm really
Some
close to
people
that.
are. Yep. Some people very much are. And one intuitive healer told me that the new hair, her guides were telling her the new hair coming in has greater receptors, transmitters on it.
Mhm.
And another mentor told me as I was going through this, um, it's an opportunity that when we can focus more on a deeper commitment to service, surrender into that, um, that the shedding may stop. And that's in the last month, mine has stopped. And as I focus on that and the nutrition, because I don't believe I was absorbing my nutrition as well as I should have,
Mhm.
and amping up that both of those, my shedding has cut way back, and I was able to actually put in some extensions. So I cheated.
Ah,
I
nice.
cheated because
You
it's
should.
half it was half the volume it used to be. It was thin next to my head, and so that was my thing.
Yep. Well,
Ah,
I don't
somebody
know.
else in the chat too. Mhm.
I don't know if I'll be able to do the extension thing. It's feeling even the texture is like it's a frizzy fuzz and is this scented kundalini stuff too. It's just like breaking off on top and like it's singed almost. And so
Yeah.
I can't even hardly get a brush through what I have. So it's really odd. But I went through stages too where it would stop for a while and then it would
Mhm.
start up again. So uh,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Lynn commented on Walmart. It makes me laugh because I can't tell you how many times when I've been going through, shifts where I would end up in the Walmart parking lot, it's like, "No, I can't even go in," you know? And there's so much there to those big stores besides all the energy, the massive amount of fluorescent lights are really
Right.
hard on the
Yep.
energy field.
Yep. Yep.
And all the EMFs and the electronics and the
And even the
overload.
energy in the clothes, if they're made, with child labor, or all these things that we're not aware of that is coming off. For some reason, that line of stores has a reputation for having more challenging energy. And I swear, every one of my clients I teach too, the container practice, and they all mention when I come out of that store, I, we're all in the parking lot clearing our energy. Yes, I'm glad you got that clarity there too, Lynn. And you're noticing the hair stuff too. Yeah, that's
That's
pretty common.
I can remember quite a few years back, and this was a particular dark one of those stores in
Ah,
the town that I was in, and every time I would show up there, something would happen, like, I would lose my keys, I would lock my key in the car or something so that I would never ever get into the store. So, finally, I just went, "Okay, I am not supposed to go into this store anymore," so I quit even
yes,
trying.
yes. Oh, gotta trust our helpers, right? And our higher self there, glitching
Absolutely.
away. That's perfect. Yes. And how about through these shifts, then feeling an attraction also to new places, or even new colors, or I haven't been brave enough to try new hair color, but
Mhm.
sometimes that's what people go through, right?
Right, or, for me, it's new clothes. It's like I can't wear that old thing
Oh,
anymore with that old energy.
ah,
So I constantly have to shift through clothes, and it's like, "Ah, can't even look at that." Or I'm finding I'm wanting more sparkle, like sparkle on my face, sparkle on my eyeshadow,
Oh,
sparkle in my, sparkle in my
oh,
hair.
I like that. Yes. Yep. Another place I've changed more often in the last year is upgrading my sheets,
Mm,
to
yeah.
colors that and comfort and feeling like that's more important. But notice, yeah, you might be drawn to new experiences, new colors, new definitely clothing. Keep, going, okay, this is the old me. Don't want that anymore.
Mhm,
And bringing in whatever brings you joy, helps you feel good in this beautiful overcoat carrying our
mhm.
souls.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that's
know, pure water too. I've got the Avesa water purification system, is so do
hmm
you. And,
hmm
now I'm also purifying my air. I didn't do that before, but I'm
okay.
liking that, wanting to have more
hmm
purity everywhere. Like, I've scrubbed my walls even. I haven't normally done that, but I'm in an
Right.
apartment building wanting to have
Yeah.
everything really crystalline, pure, and clear.
Nice. Yes. Yep. I've been reminded recently to change the filters in the shower heads too, and things like that. It's time
Mhm.
going through.
Right.
Beautiful. Yeah. And then perhaps being called to new crystals for your space
Mhm.
to support. That maybe too, as you're saying, the crystalline lighter energy, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, maybe I feel like going to the crystal store and see which crystal calls out to you saying, I meant to come home with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another big ascension symptom is weight gain, or it could be loss, but I think more so I've seen in people is weight gain or a weight
Mm-hmm.
shift. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily it's more like an energy gain or an energy shift, right? It's not really
Yeah.
that a person is fatter per se, they're just it's an energy thing where the body starts to hold energy, whether you need to ground or whether you need to it's holding on to more liquids or waters for what you're having to do, or because the body's not feeling safe where it's at right now. So it's,
Mhm.
holding on to energy. But that seems to be something that I remember Zodkiel calling it, saying you're going to need the stretch pants of illusion, talking about.
Right. Exactly. Yes, that's true. Many of us have witnessed that. And there too is, the guidance, trust that the body, um, if it needs to expand a little to carry that, to carry your energy,
Mhm,
your sacred geometry for that period. And as you keep align, as we align more in our truth and in that everlasting alignment, it may shift. I've been feeling a big shift in mine recently. I'm feeling a little bit more less stuffy,
oh, less robust.
over less overstuffed.
Yeah, I've even noticed my
Oh,
head size has changed. I had some hats that I
oh,
was regularly wearing and went to put one on and
yes.
went, "Oh my gosh, I can't even get it on my head."
I've heard that can happen. I haven't, yeah, noticed that. Okay. Yeah, things literally can expand, grow, shrink. Um,
Right.
Thank you in the chat. Feeling called to crystals. Beautiful. Shiva Linga. Love it. Yay. Yeah, we enjoy you joining in the conversation.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a
Thank
peek, see if we have any phone
Mhm.
calls. Nope, our call line is still open. Um,
Okay.
so what do you think, Patty? Do you have any more ascension symptoms you can think of
And
that
there's
we've encountered through the years?
um, well, definitely, and what's happening a lot right now is like a free floating anxiety.
Mm.
On big energy days. Some of us, Jerry talked about feeling like lightning, and maybe that's not like an anxiety for you, but for some of us, it can feel like an anxiety.
Mhm.
And again, take all the steps to slow the breathing, get in water, go in nature, hand to heart, and talk to the body. Because again, it may be an unconscious fear. It may, we're just picking up some of the planetary thought, clear our inner thought body. clear our energy. But that is another one I see a lot of clients with anxiety. And
Yeah. No, I'm substitute teaching as well in the school system, and last week especially, I had at least 2, 3 students come up to me and comment, and can I go see a counselor? I'm feeling anxiety, or I'm like right here, or can I talk to you? I've got emotions coming up, and that's not typical. They don't usually come right out and say something like that to me, but it was to the point where they felt like they had to verbalize it. So I'm guessing there's a lot of that with our young kiddos. A lot of people are going through these symptoms and have no idea that that's what they even are.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And, that's one, if anybody's feeling a little bit of that, is the B vitamins can also help some of that. Back when I was having really bad anxiety in 2016 and panic and all that, the days I had the IV B vitamins, I always felt better, besides all the others. But you're right. So many people don't realize they're picking up on not only the planetary thought body, stuff, and then the ascension energies coming in, and there's a lot going on.
Right.
And so,
cannabis is a good helper for that anxiety too. CBD oil, maybe. When I was having blood sugar fluctuations, the CBD oil was great with that. But I know cannabis, there's there's the kind that brings you up, and there's the kind that brings you down. So that I believe it's the indica that brings you down more, and just even microdosing a little bit of that, I found, just taking a tiny, tiny bit can help slow the energy down so you can relax more if you're feeling, the anxiety.
Yes. Sometimes we definitely need a little support, plant-based support, to get us out of the mind, and we'll add our worry and our fears and what. Yeah, everything. If we can do it, bless whatever we use. Thank you. Align with it. And
Yes, I've had a lot of help from the plant-based medicines. Boy, they have been a lifesaver through these Ascension years for not only relaxing the mind so that I can lift and receive, but also just relaxing the body so that, I'm not anxious, right? Either way.
Good point. Absolutely. Yeah, those are the top things that are coming to my mind in this moment. And may we all trust and listen to our beautiful bodies, your guidance on what steps you need to align, lift, for each one of us make a big difference.
Right. Let's do a cards of clarity. That's always fun. I'm going to grab mine. Do you have yours with you?
I didn't today. It was a thought.
Okay. Well, I've got mine right here. And you said you don't have any with you?
No. So you
Thank you, Batya. You are so sweet.
Bless you. Bless you all for joining.
And Gladys and Lynn.
Sending you big hugs of love back at you there. Thank you for being with us.
Yep. And DC Reed, it looks like. Thank you all for jumping in and joining the chat. We so appreciate that. And so, okay. So how many cards? How many cards today? What are we feeling? 2?
2.
Sacred Union? 2 for Sacred Union.
There we go. See, body and spirit. Yep. Sacred Union.
Okay, let's do it. We'll see what our lovely audience has pulled out for us all.
What is it we need to hear? Because I'm feeling some big energy coming up my spine.
Aha! Well, we have a birth happening.
There we go. Birth, guys.
We have a birth happening. Births are always good, but guess what? They're not so much fun sometimes until the baby comes out. Then it's good.
That's it. Sometimes that transition. Ouch.
And oneness. Right? For Oneness Talk Radio, they're both Benevolent Ones cards. And the one is the birth and one is oneness. And I'm not going to do it any justice unless I read them, because really I don't want to. It's best to
Wow,
have the
Batia's seeing
pure.
sixes. Talk about rebirth. Triple trinity of sixes. She's getting a lot of rebirth energy.
Lot of rebirth.
Spinning mark. Yeah, balanced masculine, feminine. Yes.
For me, it's been daily too, and I always know because there's babies everywhere I go. I mean, babies will show up in places where there shouldn't be babies, and that's how I know I'm rebirthing. Okay, benevolent ones. Benevolent ones 3 is the first one. Birth. Out of the womb and into the world you have come. Whether this experience is painful or joyful, you are being called to acknowledge the joy of being here now. If pain is present in your life or those around you in any form, then know that it is your time to transcend it. Pain will cease when you acknowledge the gift it is offering to you. Birth yourself through this experience and ask the pain what it is teaching you. As you learn through this birthing process, the joy that is your truth will come forward. Your newborn beingness is ready to enter the world as the gift that you were born to be.
Beautiful.
Okay. And the other one, benevolent ones 12, oneness. As the many gifts of allness are expressing themselves in our world now, it is time to be present with the recognition that the breathing out of all experience has been the preparation to return to the one experience. Your call to action is here. The time is now to recognize that we are all connected. Every action taken by another directly affects the whole. Begin by simply reviewing a recent action and the impact that it has had on those around you. Let yourself expand your view evermore. Accept the allness of this world as the prompt reunification into oneness. From this place, you can solve anything and feel the truth of your situation. So we are birthing into oneness.
Yes, what a beautiful closing there.
Absolutely. So thank you all for being with us today. It is our honor and pleasure. And until next week, have a fabulous week.
Namaste.